Yes, sir. I'd like to welcome y'all to another episode of Socially Distanced Podcast. I'm your host, NanoOnDaBeat. Got a very special guest today. I got my brother. You already know my mans.
Me978.
Yes, sir. Super humble, super I've been watching him do his music thing for a little bit now, and it's ill to see his growth and how far he's come, especially because, like I said, super humble, super supportive in any way, you know what I'm saying? He's always willing to help and everything, which is dope. You don't see a lot of artists do, so.
Man, I learned from
And even helping me, like I said, it's the second episode, and my man already agreed to come on, so, I definitely appreciate you coming and showing love, my nigga. You already know.
I learned from the goats.
Yeah.
I learned from the goats.
How about how you been? How's everything going, bro?
Chilling, man. Getting high with you.
Facts. We've been high. Haven't stopped since earlier. But yeah, let's get right into it. So I wanted to start right now in the present, and I just wanted to talk about, you have 2 interviews out right now, the Off the Porch joint and also the Tibby Toy joint, which I had the pleasure of being there with you.
Yes, sir.
And, going through that process. And you also have an intro video out to the mixtape and everything you dropped right now, which are all doing pretty good.
All came out within 24
I was going to say, yeah, facts. That's what I was going to say, drop them all at the same time. And they've only been, out a week, and they're definitely responding well.
Oh, yeah.
So how does it feel to have that out right now and be receiving that love and shit? Was it planned like that to have it dropping
the video I planned to drop before both interviews came out, so that was the plan regardless.
Okay.
So, but the fact that it just worked so honestly, I didn't know when the interview was gonna come out. So the dude told me Sunday, and it was Monday, so I'm like, fuck. He told me Sunday, so that means it's already Monday, so that means it's gonna come out today.
Right.
So I basically assumed that it was gonna come out that night, and I dropped the video at 5 o'clock, and then the Tippy Toe interview came out at 8:30. So
Okay.
it worked all in my favor, I guess.
That's right. Blessings, bro. I'm telling you, when you put that good energy out, you definitely receive it back.
Yeah, and then I think the next day I was chilling with Rob and we were just talking, and I was going through the YouTube page. I was just looking myself up real quick.
Right. We all do that every once. I still do that. I haven't dropped shit in a minute, and you check every once in a while. It's normal.
Just to see what it looks like, and then
Right.
I had seen that the other one was gonna premiere an hour away from when I had looked. That shit was definitely dope. I mean, I don't know. I felt I never felt the love in the city more than around those few days.
Word.
I don't think I never got that much
That's what I was gonna say too. Was it expected to get that love or anything? It was just kind of I'm gonna just drop to see what happens.
I'm just gonna tell you something right now. When I do something, I don't ever expect the craziest response.
Right. Especially where we from.
Yeah, I expect most people to hate it, honestly, or show me love.
And it's crazy coming from someone like you because, like I said, I've seen firsthand how you support other people's shit, how you repost and everything like that. So for you to still kind of be on some I
don't expect it because I already know what type of I don't know. Niggas just think of it more as a competition.
Right.
I don't need to compete with niggas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
At all. That's what I'm saying, and it's worked in your favor. That's what I'm saying. You've taken a route that not a lot of people do. That's why it's crazy that, like I said, the support and everything you show everybody in the area and stuff when you post everybody's stuff is not something that rappers usually do.
I think like I said, this time around I noticed it more. Even the rappers were sharing my shit this time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like you said, they don't do that. So even just seeing that this time around, it was I don't know if it was because nigga, you see it, so you gotta do it.
Right.
It's if you don't.
Nah, I honestly think it's just because of the person you are. Because like I said, I mean, this is a good segue. We could take it back because I wanted to ask you, I've heard you talk about how the artist part and the rap part started, but I wanted to ask you because most people do the artist thing and then they want to start their label and do everything. You kind of did it backwards in a way. You kind of started the label first and were helping other artists and stuff like that. So how did that come about, to do the label part first and kind of
man, I think one day Izzy was rapping, and they'd always told me Izzy was a rapper, and
Right.
I mean, me and Izzy probably became friends I want to say 2013, 2012, around that time. So this is fast forward 3-4 years later. They were telling me Izzy was a rapper, but I still had never heard him seriously rap. And they had a song that he did, but he didn't put it out. So he had to put out a few songs, but he didn't put out this particular song.
Okay.
And the songs that I heard, I always liked Izzy's music. I always loved his energy, but the songs that I heard at the time, they didn't move me. You know what I mean? But then they had this one song, and even then, I'm gonna tell you right now, we never dropped that song. The song never came out.
The one that you're talking about.
The song I'm talking about in particular never came out. You know what I'm saying? So,
and you're saying this is the one that kind of like made you pay attention. That's
one,
crazy, right? That the one that drew your attention.
It never came out because the way we had it playing, like there was a hook on it, and the hook is what drew me.
Right. So
I was like, this hook is
which
so
is what
crazy.
usually draws music nowadays, regardless. Anyway,
you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, this hook is so crazy. Like, yo, I want to be a part. Like, I kind of want to be a part of that. But like,
and you hadn't, my fault, you hadn't done like nothing musically to this point, like. I know, like I said, I've heard you say that you have written, you spit bars and stuff, but like this was the first time you took it.
I was recording and shit, like I said, in high school I used to chill with Jaji and shit, and Trey, and we used to be at Jaji's crib in the basement, and we used to do shit on Audacity. So like, you know, like little shit, like I would record, but that was never serious. That was like, let's get high and rap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't like nigga, we rappers. That was like yo, let's get high and spit some shit.
So this was the first time you wanted to like be about part of something.
So at that time, this is the first time I'm like, man, I know rap. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like. And Izzy has like the work ethic,
right? You know
what I'm saying? And shout
out Izzy G,
yeah, shout out. And his work ethic is crazy. So I saw that in that song. I'm telling you, that song, I was like, man, this shit is hard. So like, Izzy, let me help push your shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me manage you. You know what I'm saying? And we worked some shit out. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Izzy always had like some type of like arrangement. You know what I'm saying? Like it always worked out. You know what I'm saying? Benefited both of us.
Word,
and I'm eternally grateful to Izzy because like he definitely took De Niro lifestyle to like a level.
Wow, that's crazy. That was literally my next question. Is like, is that what started? Like, where did the De Niro lifestyle, like the name, the brand?
The name was like, I was tired of seeing like a whole like I don't know. All right, so like I was tired of seeing like niggas had like groups and shit like, but I was like, damn, like my niggas, we're always a group, but we're not a gang, we're not nothing like that. So right. I would love a name for us. You know what I mean? Like that was just in my mind. I was like, damn, like it would be cool to have like a name for the team.
Right.
And originally, I want to say I was trying to remember this shit when I was on Off the Porch or Tippy Toe. I forgot which one it was, but. I'm trying to remember, but I think originally, because I had time to think about it after, I think originally the name was like De Niro Mob.
Right.
Because it was like ASAP Mob.
Those
type.
times.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that was
like,
the vibe.
It was like that type of shit. And I was like, it'll be like, it's a bunch of us, so like, it'll be cool. And then I was like, man, nah, that shit kind of, like, literally within hours, like, that shit sounds corny.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was like, man.
That's where the brainstorming part comes in. You gotta.
So I was like, what? I was like, nah, because like everybody has like something like thing. So I was like, man, like, fuck that. Like, it would be more like of a lifestyle type of thing. Like, we're trying to, like it's a movement.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a lifestyle.
And I'll definitely give you credit on that because, like I said, I've seen other crews and everything out here, but it's a lot of artists. Like, you guys were definitely the first ones where you guys, you know what I'm saying, you had the artist, you had the person that made the covers, you had the DJ, you had, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was, like, we were literally just talking in the car. I like to explain to people that there's other roles to be done too, and that involves the same thing in the music, in the artist, you know what I'm saying? And you guys kind of understood that early and kind of had that.
So for me, it was like, all right, Izzy, let's drop music. All right, Izzy, you drop the music, and let me get behind this shit. And I've always been like kind of like media savvy, like tech savvy or social, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Internet savvy. Mm-hmm. So I know what not to post, what not to write, what to write. You know what I'm saying?
And that's something I didn't understand early either. I would look at posts from like, when I first started, I was writing too much paragraphs.
Sometimes it's about your caption. Sometimes it's about what time you post that. So like if you post at like fucking noon,
facts. There's definitely a formula.
You're not gonna get as much traction as if you post at 6:30 on a Tuesday. Right. It's certain days too, like Sunday morning is popping. Tuesday.
And you understood this then, like when you started, that you kind of already had the gist of it. Because like I said, I'm a person
not to this extent, but this is just where I'm at now with it. But I kind of understood, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, people are on Instagram on the week because we're in high school. So people are not really on Instagram while we're in school. So you don't post nothing while you're in school.
Right.
You know, it's just certain things.
The traffic's not there, right?
You know what I mean? The traffic ain't there. So you got to figure, even now, it's the same thing. People are at work. People aren't on Instagram. Everybody's at work. You know, they might scroll through it real quick, but they're not really going through the whole thing the way they would if they were just chilling in the bed.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why timing is crucial as well. Like I always tell people, like some people like, oh, my post didn't like get as much traction, and I thought, well, you post at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Literally.
And you know, and even some people do. I mean, you know, some people still got their traction, but you know,
not everybody has that.
No, it's tougher. It's tougher when you're locally trying. You know, when you're here trying to do it.
Exactly.
Where we're
Exactly.
from, it's
And that's
tougher.
something I never understood either. That's what I'm saying. So it's crazy for you to say that. Because when did this start? Like, what do you like? You know,
20, like 2016. So and
so
I
how old were you then? Because I'm like, that's what I'm saying. For you to have this like internet savvy, like boss mentality, let me start a label. Like, how early were you thinking this?
well, because you know what it was. 2016, and I got my license like 2014. My first CD that I played in my car. My first two CDs was
CDs, I love it.
yeah, it was Future DS2, and then but I had that shit on Apple Music too, so it was like whatever. I had both, but in the car, you know, I kind of fuck with the CD because I could just run through it, still be on my phone and shit. And then the second one was 16 Zips by Young Dolph. So like I said, like Dolph is just, I think that's also where it came from because it's like I saw the CEO mentality right there. You know what I'm saying? So in my mindset, I was like, all right, Izzy's rapping right now. At the time, I'll be honest with you, I didn't feel comfortable rapping. I didn't feel comfortable. And it's wild because I play sports, so I was always in front of crowds. I was always like, so it never really
It's
bothered
crazy
me.
you say that because same thing with me. I was a kid that I wasn't in front of always the crazy crowds, but I grew up in church and stuff. So it's like I was used to a decent crowd,
Yeah.
but it would always still get to me. The nerves still kind of I was always.
Because I think with music, you put yourself out there more. You're really expressing yourself. You're giving people a chance to judge your feelings and your thoughts and in your life.
Nah,
You know what I'm saying?
fact,
So
fact.
it's tougher. So me personally, I was like, man, I always wrote bars and I was like, man, I never really want to rap like that. But then one day we were chilling at Rob's house and this nigga Rob's like, yo, you gotta, cause I'm just spitting there. I like, Rob, listen to this.
Right.
I wrote this shit yesterday with me and Izzy in the studio. He's like, you gonna record it? I'm like, nah, I'm not recording none of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like none of it.
Right.
And I think it just got to a point where I just got tired of hearing Rob, dude, just go in the fucking booth. You know what I'm saying? So Izzy made I Don't Fuck With You. And then I got on that shit. And I think I literally, that's what one thing I loved about Izzy is certain people, when you get in the studio with them, the energy is different. So it's so much easier to work with them. So with Izzy, I've never had a problem writing a verse for him.
Right.
Like, I promise you. Like, I wrote some, I never had a problem because it would just come to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you feed off it. I feel like that's how it was with my brother too. Whenever, he came out with the hook or whatever, it was. It was always with the energy. He'd always be on something. Yeah, what you got? What we doing? What are we talking about? And then he
It's
always
like you can't not excel.
and energy is real, bro. Vibes are real. You really feed that off to people because I feel like that was what he was amazing at. Like that, dude, he could definitely take your vibe and just
Exactly.
project it. So yeah.
So Izzy was just like that. You know what I mean? And at one point I was just like, man. Well, to say the least, Izzy, the first song me and Izzy dropped together was Forgot.
Okay.
And you can look up Forgot right now on SoundCloud. I think it has like 40,000, like in between 35 and 40,000 plays.
And that was the first joint you had.
That's the first
yeah.
song we put out. You know what I'm saying? And then like at the time, like you know, I mean, you have SoundCloud,
Yeah.
so you know you could check like where they're fucking with you.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what
the
I'm saying?
statistics and everything. Yeah,
Yeah, like and what cities specifically, and for that particular song, it was Chicago and St. Louis.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Random
as shit.
Yeah, right.
It wasn't even home. You know what I'm saying? That shit had like 15,000 plays the first week, and I want to say like 1,000 plays were from home, and then 14,000 elsewhere.
And y'all have no idea how it spread like that. It just kind of organically just.
I know, because at the time I was really on the spam shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was really taking that shit and I'm commenting under hot new hip hop on Twitter. I'm commenting, like, you know what I'm saying? All the celebrities, when they're posting their music, I'm the first comment, like,
That's
yo,
wild.
listen to this.
You really had the marketing part down because, like I said,
I was doing that. Listen, I'm not shy. I was doing that shit for a week straight. Like, even today, like, I do everything myself.
right,
You know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure that you see my shit. You can ignore me. I'm gonna send it to you though.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ever said that you supported me, I'm gonna send you my music. I'm
Right.
going to. I promise you. Right? And what you do after that is up to you. I won't feel away. You know what I'm saying? But I want you to know that I still drop something. You know what I'm saying? I tell people this all the time, and I have this conversation with certain people because they feel too much pride. Like, oh, I'm not sending people my shit after I drop. Like, and listen, I promise you, I send that shit to hundreds of people.
Now the grind is. That's what I'm saying. That's one thing I
don't
kind of
sit
lacked
there and
into.
tag
Never-
everybody because
right.
like I know that can get annoying with the comments and shit. Like, I will individually message you and send you it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just being real. Like, how else am I gonna market myself? I don't know too many other ways, especially for somebody like me. I know I can do promotions and I can do these interviews and I can
Right.
do a whole bunch of stuff, but there's only so much that I could really do myself. You know what I'm saying? And that
Facts.
I'm gonna tell you right now, when I send it to help to people, it definitely helps my growth. Because at the end of the day, I might have sent it because Facebook, you know how the fucking algorithm is. You know what I'm saying? You post this shit and fucking 10 people see it. The same 10 people that been liking your shit for whatever amount of time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So only way that shit works is if a bunch of people share it, or you know what I mean? Like, so the algorithm on Facebook is fucked up. So I'm definitely gonna message you my shit.
No, right.
And especially like, you know, I get a lot of, and I have no problem with this. Because support is support. I get a lot of messages about like, you know, like support.
Right.
So like, especially those people, I'm gonna send you my music every time it comes out.
Yeah,
You know what
we
I'm saying?
support each other. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's all it's about.
Yeah, because like if you like, you know what I mean? And most of them I get great responses from, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like I have no problem with the work.
You know, and like I said, coming from you, like I said, I know that to you, the person maybe don't even gotta send it to you because you're just like
I be
supporting the city
you know me,
and just
I see this shit online and I be like, oh yeah, this is, you know what I mean? Certain shit, because I used to be even more open and I'll share everybody's shit.
Right.
But now I'm getting to a point where it's like, all right, you gotta at least work hard enough.
Exactly. I've always been the same way. I have no problem helping anybody. Nothing. I gotta see that you're serious about it. You know what I'm saying? That's all I care about. Let me see the grind. Let me see that you're putting in the work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. So to go back to so we dropped that first song and it did well. Right? Like I said, I was spamming everybody's shit. After that, Izzy dropped. We did Izzy's first tape called "Young and Blessed." He did "I Don't Fuck with You," and then I recorded it on that. I'm a feature on that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And
as all this is going on, you're the one also facilitating like the mixtape, everything that's coming out. Like I said, the De Niro lifestyle's already created at this point.
Yeah.
We're dropping things through the.
Okay,
yeah.
This is it's the brand already. You know what I'm saying? And Juju's already making the cover. Julian Algarin, my boy. I didn't mean to say his old government.
Yeah, right.
But that's the only way you're gonna find him. Or you can Juge the Don or Don Status Designs.
Shout outs to him. Yeah, he's
You know
nice
what I'm
with it
saying?
too. He got
and he don't really work. The thing about love about Juge is like it's not that he won't make a cover for anybody else, because you know if you hit him up, he's gonna make a cover for you, and money's money. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But it's like he's not striving to do it for anybody. He just loves making covers for us.
And now, when you thought of doing this, were the pieces already there? Like, were they already doing this? Or is it like you guys thought of all this?
Juge was like, you guys gonna, I'm gonna start making covers for you guys.
That's fire.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. There's not enough of that. Everybody want to be the artist, and nobody wants to accept that there's definitely other positions to be filled in a team, and you guys get way further in these things. So that's what I'm saying. It's crazy that you guys understood that at that age like that.
And then like, you know what helped was Izzy was fresh out of high school. I think it was like a year or two out of high school. I'm like 2-3 years out of high school. Then we get my cousin. He's in high school. You know what I'm saying? So like, between fucking the 16-year-olds and at the time what we're like 21, 20, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm probably like 21, 22. So like we got the 16-year-olds to 22-year-olds on lock. Because everybody and then Izzy's cousin was dropping music at the time, and you know what I'm saying? And Izzy dropped a song with his cousin. That shit probably has like 11,000 plays right now on SoundCloud.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? But 11,000 locally is still big, you know what I'm saying? Because I promise you on that song it's definitely all Fitchburg and Leominster. You know what I'm saying? Like not too many plays from outside the city, because that shit was a real like I remember I had a cousin in high school at the time, and she would send videos of like people playing our music in the high school, and we're not in high school, but at the time, so like to see that shit was like, oh, this is fire, like they're playing Izzy in high school. You know what I'm saying? Like
course,
that's dope.
Yeah.
Then we used to get snaps when Forgot came out, excuse me, of people at parties and they're listening to Forgot at a fucking party.
That feeling never gets old, bro.
We go to a college party, and then niggas throw the song on and then everybody knows who Izzy is. So that shit was like just to see like that, like, and I was like, oh shit, we're doing something right. Like, cause like I said, Forgot's the first song. And everybody was fucking with Forgot.
Word.
You know what I mean? Like that's
fire.
That's definitely one of those like how do you say, like definitely at least a local classic. I can't say anything less, because like if you were in high school at that time or around our age group, you knew the song. You know what I'm saying?
That's fire. And you kind of touched on it earlier, but I was going to ask you, so like musically, who inspired you to have that like boss mentality and that like label kind of, was it like Dolphin stuff and just seeing how they were kind of?
It's just like Dolph, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, like Diddy, Dr. Dre, like the real bosses. Real bosses. Like I'm talking about like the dudes like that put, like it's because to me it's not about me, right? And those are real bosses that put other people on, and like you don't even know, like that's like my main goal. Like I do this shit for everybody else, like and I don't even and
like I said, since I know you, I genuinely know that that's the truth. Like I said, I've seen you do it time and time again. And
like I really
yeah.
I really do this shit for everybody else. I throw my own shows, and I don't perform last.
Right.
Do you hear what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Yeah.
there's no ego thing in there. Like a lot of
That's a
people, they're gonna
fact.
throw their own shows and make I'm performing last. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean? I got a stable of artists. We're gonna make it poppin'. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like,
No, for sure, for sure. That was another thing I was gonna ask you too. How was it? Because now you guys have done a couple showcases in your couple showcases in, but that first one when you put it together, how was that mindset? And was it more for the artist or was it?
And I'm gonna give you the full disclosure because you're my brother.
Right, I need that.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you the whole story. I'm gonna put this blunt down. I'm sitting in class, and I'm thinking, yo, what can I do for the team? Like, I really want to just take us to a different level.
Right.
Boogie just dropped Free Chicken. It's just going crazy.
I was about to say smash, no cap.
Yo, nigga.
Shout outs to him, man.
Boogie just dropped Free Chicken. Free Chicken was going nuts. You know what I'm saying? Everybody loved that tape. You know what I'm saying? And I think the way we had planned it, all right, so I'm like, damn, I gotta do something for my boys. Sitting in class, I promise you. I'm not paying attention to shit the teacher's saying. I'm like, fuck it.
Zoned out.
I know this kid who threw a show somewhere, and the venue was dope, and the owners are cool, and I met the son, and he's a rapper as well.
Right.
So I hit him up, and I was like, yo, me and my boys want to do a show. This is in New Hampshire. I'm like, yo, me and my boys want to do a show. You know what I mean? We met before this at Dom's show. Shout out to Dommy. We met before at Dommy's show, and you gave me information, so I'm just reaching out. Me and him ended up meeting, so I booked my first show. Like, I got the venue now.
Right.
So
This is New Hampshire?
This is New Hampshire.
Okay.
This is all the same day. Like, I didn't, like, when I put my mind on something, it's go time. So this is all the same day. I'm like, all right, boom, I hit him up. This is where I went. Like, so I'm like, damn, you know, I believe in what we can do. But this is my first show. I didn't want to fail.
Right, of course.
So hear me out. I did not, like, my only thing on my mind is like, man, I got to make this, do whatever I can to make this dope, right? So.
And how many artists were you involving in this first showcase? No, just make it.
I'm going.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, so I'm gonna tell you exactly what my mind came to.
Right.
So I'm like, fuck, I gotta book somebody. I gotta book somebody who's known, at least a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And somebody maybe from the area who's known a little bit, like Boston, like, you know, from Massachusetts. So it's like it's easier to sell because we're from here. So it's like I can get somebody. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? So I booked this kid. I'm just thinking if I should say his name or not. 'Cause I really don't care. I really don't. Man, fuck the nigga. All right. So I booked Trade a bitch. Trade a kid.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll be completely honest with you. I have no idea where to trade a kid from out here.
He's from Boston, and the reason I can't fuck with him is because. All right, let me go on with the story. So I book him, whatever. Everything's cool. I give him most of the front end. You know what I'm saying? He charged me. It wasn't too much. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He charged me a certain amount, and I gave him most of the front end. Something happened, and he didn't hit me at all. We were good. We were locked in. I talked to his manager. We're all set. We're locked in, right? And then something happened where, like, the week before the show, I see, like, this flyer, and it's a flyer, same date. It's a different show in California. His show.
Right.
He's a part of. Same date.
Right.
So I hit him up, and I talked to him. And the way they made it seem was like, this is earlier in the day. So I could still get on the plane, and I'll be out there. Or I personally, at that moment, didn't talk to him. Izzy was talking to him.
Right.
Whatever. So, whatever. Long story short, he didn't come. He didn't stop answering us. He didn't come to the show. We booked him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't show up. Izzy paid him for a verse that he didn't deliver. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we all had it planned. We're gonna shoot the video that night. Everything. You know what I mean? We had everything planned.
Bro.
We're gonna go to the studio that night. You know what I'm saying?
And you guys at this point are promoting this show.
We're promoting
everything.
I got fucking tickets with his face on it. I got none of my artist's face on the shit, bro.
Artists be wild. Bro, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I've been there, bro. I'm telling you.
So whatever. He doesn't come. Whatever. And I'm a G, bro. I'm a G because I dead ass let people, you know, most people will let that shit rock. Like, man, fuck it, everybody coming, and we'll just tell everybody when they get here. Bro, I announced that shit the day before, like, this bitch ass nigga's not coming.
Yeah.
I let everybody know, like, yo, I'm gonna let y'all know now, this nigga's not coming, but you know, we would still appreciate if y'all came. Man, that was a party bus. That shit was so crazy that
So it was still a good turnout regardless. You see, I mean, yeah, blessings in disguise. Fuck all that,
man. Because listen, that shit was so crazy. I'd never, dude. We're in New Hampshire and we still pull mad people. You know, what I'm
party
saying?
bus and everything. That sounds lit, bro.
Bro, I couldn't have imagined it at the time.
And who out of your artists
Performed?
have,
So look at, we had, I performed, Izzy performed, Boogie performed, Hove performed, Eastside performed, Stash performed, Ben Grizz performed, B Rose performed, I think even Zeke performed. What's these YM? I think YM he performed.
You always have the ill lineup, so that's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy how you like to put so many.
And that's everybody from the city,
right?
You know what I'm saying? I like to be inclusive. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I know for a fact there's somebody who, like, I can't say if he likes me or not, but I know he maybe doesn't agree with. I don't know what his issue with me really.
Right.
I know a little bit of it, but like I could tell, you know what I mean? But I could just tell he has like some type of like resentment or whatever. And I still hit him up to perform in one of my shows.
Right.
Cause I don't care, bro. I want to see you shine. You know what I mean? God bless you.
Right, literally.
You know what I'm saying?
Whatever you could do. That's
whatever,
what I'm saying, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Bro, and I know for a fact, because listen, I'm going to tell you this. He followed me up until the show, and then like the day after, he had like unfollowed me on everything. Or like, you know what I mean? A couple days after. You know what I'm saying? Not too long after. And that's fine. I'm not having an issue with it. I'm not a bird.
Artists be weird,
but like, bro,
like that,
I gave
bro.
you an opportunity, brother. I didn't charge you like most people would. I didn't charge you, and I gave you a high spot in the lineup. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, nobody's doing that for you, bro.
Right. Nah, artists are weird, bro. Like I said, I got a story like that too, and at a higher level. I mean, you said his name, so I'm gonna say his name too. I don't give a fuck. But that nigga Darel, the nigga that's on the Te Bote song and all that shit, was supposed to do a verse for me one day. And same thing, nigga. These niggas be selling you an ill dream. I got you all this shit. And it's like sort of the same thing happened to me. It took us forever to get this verse from this nigga. He finally sends us a verse. I'm like, whatever. Not even like, I think a month later, a remix drops with like a bunch of them on it. Like Anuel, I don't even remember. Same verse on the shit, bro. Yeah. Same verse on this shit. I think it still owes me a verse to this day, bro. It's like, I don't understand, bro. And he was kind of popping already. I don't even remember what we gave him for the feature either. It wasn't like a crazy amount either. Yeah. And it just shows you, it's like, bro, artists of your caliber, is that really what is your worth to burn somebody like that? Like, for that, just say no, bro.
A lot of people are like that, though. Like, I've even... Like,
artists are super weird.
I hear of instances where like they'll take the money for a feature and then not clear the song. Like, that's got to be a shitty feeling for an artist who just spent a bag on a feature and then now he can't put it out because your label don't agree or whatever the fucking case may be. Whatever the case may be.
You feel me?
You know what I mean?
But those are things you gotta go through and you learn from.
Yeah. But like I said, the show was still
and that's what's dope about it. That at the end of the day, yeah, the show.
And that was my first show ever. I was so happy we went to the strip club after.
Yeah, got lit. It was so there's no way to better celebrate something like that, right?
I mean, when I say we all went to the strip club, like the whole team. Yo, 4 cars, maybe more. Like, yo, we all going to the strip club. Let's go. And we had a great time.
That's fire.
Yeah.
No better way to end that one.
Yeah.
So, and then when we get to the point that you start, really taking the artist thing serious and all that, your first video was the Feel Me freestyle? Was that the first official video that you?
Yeah. And honestly, like, even sitting there when I did that shit, I was just sitting. Obviously, I say what COVID started like March 12th, 16th, 2020, right? So I recorded that song like March 7th, right? And then lockdown happened. I feel like lockdown slowed time, right? Because you're just in the house all day, so you got nothing but time, right? So I'm sitting there thinking like, damn, I need to, like, what could I do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what could I do? That's different than what I've done. And that was my first video, so I never dropped it. So that was something different for me, right?
And it really didn't seem like your first video, like, you know what I'm saying? The swag was there, it was dope,
I was nervous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, You know what I mean? But because I was nervous. I had my bag. You know what I'm saying? I had a little bit of Henny in there. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I'll be keeping it a buck.
Had the fresh, what was that the Supreme like Pusha Ice Tea joint?
Yeah, yeah.
Were those joints really popping like that at that moment? I don't
Nah,
remember. I wasn't seeing like mad
nah.
people. I'm not the one that be the first
I'm
to
about
be
to.
on trend, so I don't know.
No, no, no.
But
I'm Soldier Boy in that bitch. Like
I was gonna
I'm the
say
first,
that
I'm
video
the first
was
rapper to drop a music video during the pandemic with a mask.
that
Like
that one
specifically
that everybody's
during the
wearing now.
pandemic. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like specifically, I'm the first rapper to do that.
right.
I'll probably say that. You know what I mean?
I
But that shit,
I was second
sh-
that. Like I said,
that
because
shit
I
came
want to
out.
remember them.
That shit came out fire. And if you watch the video, literally there's no cars, there's no
On the block.
No, I'm out. Yeah, you know I had to. Do
And the
that in
dudes
hood.
who shot that video.
Zay and Rig.
I fuck with like the color. It was like even though it was on the black and it wasn't too much, it was like the coloring, everything, the way they shot it. It fit right. The grimy look was there, everything. So shout out to them for that.
You know what it was? It's March, so it's like right after winter.
The
You know what
look
I
was
mean?
definitely
You know what I'm saying?
get captured. It
It's
was
eerie,
captured
almost
in that,
eerie in a
right.
sense. You know what I'm saying? It was a like a cloudy, rainy day. You know what I'm saying? Rain the day before, so day after rain, it's just mad cloudy, like kind of cold. You know what I mean? It was definitely the perfect vibe for that song.
So now at this point, is your buzz as an artist already sort of picking up? Are you like feeling the love and everything like that coming in? Because then you drop the Me P, right? And that debuts, I see here, like at number 26 on the iTunes hip hop charts.
Oh yeah. Dude.
So like, was that something expected or like that kind of? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Did that create the traction for that point? I don't know. I mean, the timeline on how far apart the video and that came along, but like
apart. Exactly.
from each other.
Yeah.
So you had kind of build up a little more traction from then, or
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to gauge that shit.
right?
Because you can never tell when it's like when you're in the moment. Like I'd have to see. I'd have to see like a bunch of numbers and everything.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I don't know how to gauge that. Like how do you say like oh my buzz is picking up? Like I don't know. Like I kind of felt the similar love. Like because I don't ever like I said I don't ever expect too much love. So I don't know how to gauge it because I'm always like shocked by the amount of love I get.
So when it debuts at 26, how was that feeling? When you
That shit is dope. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm like, what the fuck? And you know what the wildest shit is? Because I was just high sitting on the couch and I'm just like, let me check this shit. I don't even know what the fuck told me like to go to the hip hop charts. Like I don't even maybe because I did the pre-sales. You know what I'm saying? And I sold a decent amount of albums. This is from my first ever.
And you're already doing this for yourself and your artists as well too. Because I'm not gonna lie, you definitely put me on too, bro. I came from the era where we were still paying people to put songs out and everything for us, and then you come along and you're like, yo, no, come on, bro.
Yeah, you
You,
live. I told you, I was like, yo,
you
Nana,
could
what
do
are you
this shit
doing, bro?
yourself, get the money all yourself. That shit go right to your bank account. I'm like,
Bro,
what?
you're paying somebody to see like, and then it works out because you're a smart artist and you have all the shit that you need. So you're gonna get your royalties regardless.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you'll get paid regardless. But in a sense where like other people aren't that smart, like bro, essentially you would be paying somebody else to get paid for your music.
Makes no sense whatsoever. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't no cheap money either. Like, man, every song we dropped, it was a few dollars, my nigga, to do this shit. Just to do the same thing you could do for yourself and put it on Spotify, iTunes.
And it takes what, 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Pretty much.
You know what I'm saying? And shit, we've been doing that. I don't even think I've ever checked like what that shit looks like on the inside. So I gotta check like the numbers and shit. I never looked at it.
And since you guys started putting out music, it was always like what, DistroKid or something like that off rip, or
No. We did fucking we did CD. We did CDs the first joke.
Nigga, me too.
We did Young and Blast. I mean, shit. I seen you doing CDs.
I was gonna say that the CD grind was ill. I remember,
different.
bro. I was sitting. If anybody remembers, if they're hardcore fans like that, my mixtape, was it the Engagement joint, brother? I was sitting out at Green Street Park every day. You heard? If I come through, I'm here. You heard?
How about one? You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Nah, we was really listening to that shit. But like I said, so that's SoundCloud, my mixtapes, and CDs. SoundCloud, my mixtapes, and CDs. Yeah.
And then along came
And no, because
DistroKid and all this.
DistroKid. Let's see, I could check. Nah, but I don't want to go on my phone and shit. Yeah, but I could check really. But I know we dropped our first song. It was probably just a single. Had to be free chicken. It had to be free chicken. I think we did like 2 songs before that. I think the Me came out before all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only reason I was performing. Because when we did the show, I performed. So the shows after all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Now, do you remember really the first hometown showcase? The first one you guys did out here was what, maybe Trish, right?
Yeah. The first
So
one.
how was putting that together for like the city and everything and the turnout and all that?
The cool thing about that was like that was the first time that like we got booked. So I didn't have to do anything. I just show up and get paid. You know how
feels nice, right? Instead of having a
that was the first time that something like that ever happened for me. And mind you, I wasn't performing. Right? This is the
you didn't perform in that one?
I did.
Okay.
I was surprised.
We need to hear that story. How did that happen?
Surprised because
Okay.
I just the Me P came out fucking that show was like what Saturday, I think on a Saturday or some shit like that. And the Me P came out like I want to say the Thursday before or the Thursday after. So it was one of those.
Okay.
It was either Thursday before or Thursday after. All right.
Yeah, I remember.
So we're there, and these dudes, Izzy and Boogie are the ones who got paid to perform. They're the show. So you know the puppet Joselito, I think that's his name.
Joselito.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
So he got booked there, and he's doing 9 to fucking 10:30. You know what I'm saying? And then the music comes on, and then we got after that. You know what I'm saying? So then I wasn't gonna perform, and then I'm sitting there at the rehearsals, and I'm like, man, just y'all two performing. There's a lot of time in between. You know what I'm saying? I got a tape coming out. Like it just seemed like perfect marketing.
So Me P hadn't came out at this point.
I don't even think it did. I don't think it did. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I don't think anybody knew the songs yet. You know what I'm saying? Like even like Izzy and them knew the songs. It might have came out. Like it might have came like you know what I'm saying? But it was like right in between.
Right.
Few day period. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Either it came out right before 2 days or 3 days after. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. So I'm like, man, I got this shit. You know what I mean? I just dropped or it's about to come out, whatever the case may be, and I need to advertise that. You know what I'm saying? And what better thing is these dudes already have something rocking with people already know their music, so I could just be like, all right, let me just just do a couple songs. You know what I'm saying? And man, that shit was awesome. Like that shit was. That was a
I think strategic thinking is on point. Like that shit is like an art for my man. No lie,
oh, yeah,
bro.
Yeah. I just had to capitalize on the opportunity because I'm just thinking like, damn, I really just why wouldn't like any other person's gonna sit there and be like, yeah, I gotta do this. But so like, and that was my first time performing at home because even that was before. Damn. So I did a Uncle Murder show, and then we did our show. And then I did that show.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so the Uncle Murder show, that's the ticket type shit. You know how that goes. You're an artist, so you know how that goes.
Right.
And then our show is our show, and then we got booked over there. So those are 3 different experiences. Those are my first 3 shows.
And they're pretty like consistent in a row.
Yeah, that's like April, June, November.
I'll say I had a good start.
Oh, April, June, September. And then like I did another show. I did Electric Haze. We've done Triss a couple times now. We did some shit in Boston. Izzy opened up for Little Tracy. I didn't even mention that. So like that was big. That was big for the team. You know what I'm saying? Because like that makes you look great. Especially Little Tracy at that point had This Year. I don't know if you know what that song is, but that shit is fire.
Yeah.
Listen, man, that's my shit.
So
that type of shit. I can still listen to it to this day. You know what I mean? It's just a vibe. You know what I mean?
And everybody was just that's why I fuck with that. Everybody did their part. Everybody was happy for the wins of the. And that was something.
And I got a picture. Like you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people that won't accept their role, like you said. So or whatever the case may be. Like they want to be the person in the limelight, but we never really had that issue because it's like. Man, everybody got their own whatever going on, and they're not worried about like they know Izzy's the rapper, so it's like we're on some rap shit. Like when we're on rap mode, we got to push Izzy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the best part, like you said, was like everybody had that understanding. You know what I'm saying? Like all right, we all got to post this, we all got to share this, we all got to, you know what I mean? Like put it on your snap, put it on my snap. You know what I mean? Like all working together as a team. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
like,
that's the way to do it. I'm telling you.
And I think that a lot of the problem with a lot of people is even within their team, there's hate and shit. So like. You'll have a dude, you may sit with him and smoke with him every day, but he's not going to post your shit on his shit.
Which I've never understood whatsoever.
I don't understand that either.
Yeah.
And it's like.
That should be the first people.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, I get it. Maybe some people have lives. Not maybe. Some people have lives and they don't see that shit. Like
Right.
genuinely don't see that shit. You know what I mean? And it happens. So I don't take a lot of that shit.
I'm never taking another personal either. It's just something. It's part of the game, bro. And like I said, when you're blessed enough to still see love, regardless, those things become minimal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I definitely, like you said, I guess more recently, I can gauge it. Like you said, the buzz, my buzz more, like with the interviews and shit, because like I've more than anything, I never saw my face on the internet that much.
Right.
You
Exactly.
know what I mean? Like I never went on Facebook and fucking the first 6-7 posts are all people sharing my shit. You know what I mean?
Nah,
Like
it feels ill.
that
Nah,
shit
it's
is
a fact.
cool. You know what I'm saying? And then I go on the next day and I see people because there's too much, and then I see somebody. Oh, he shared that yesterday. Oh, let me still like that. You know what I mean? Like wow. You know what I mean? I still go on Facebook today and like, oh damn, that dude. I didn't get to see that he shared this a couple days ago. You know what I'm saying? But like to see that he did, like even certain people that like I would assume that don't. I don't want to say like don't fuck with my music or don't support it, but it's just like
Right.
I just wouldn't expect them to.
Facts.
Not that they wouldn't, but or have anything against me. It's just I just that wouldn't cross my mind. Like, oh damn! So when I see certain people like, oh damn, he shared that. That's fire. You know what I
And
mean?
that's
Or
why, yeah,
oh damn,
all the other negative shit I said, that's when it all just cancels out.
yeah, yeah, and it's dope. You know what I'm saying? And even hearing shit like I didn't go out this weekend, but like my cousin goes out and he tells me like, yo, everybody's talking about the interviews, bro. You know what I mean?
Facts.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what I'm saying. Yeah, we seen Coco earlier, right? Yo, I seen her on the porch. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You like you said, you don't think that people really, but not yeah.
And then
nigga.
when I hear it, it's like, yo, I watch the illest shit was I had seen somebody and like they had to have watched the whole interview to really
Have the conversation,
talk
yeah,
about what we were talking about. You know what I'm saying?
which gives you the feeling it's not that they just scroll through. They seen the clips you posted.
They didn't just watch the first 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Like they watched the end part or like they watched the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like they really watched that shit. So like to see or hear, you know what I mean? People like the responses that I'm getting. That's awesome. Like
Super dope.
that's what fucking motivates me.
And it's
more.
gonna continue, like I said, because when you put that just good energy out there, you support yourself. There's no hate. It's like, how can you lose, bro?
Yeah, I mean,
And the music is dope and everything. That's not you're pushing something that you know what I'm saying. It's like
yeah.
you definitely have the formula down.
I think what's dope for me, what I got going is I try to be as honest as I can in my music. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't try to like conform. Like, I'm not trying to make somebody else's music.
Right.
I'm not trying to fucking do something somebody else is doing. I'm really just trying to stick to what I know and what I like. You know what I'm saying?
And that shows, and like I said, that shows because, like I said, you started with the label, with the vision of helping others, with which not everybody has that. Everybody's always like, nah, I'm the artist. Let me get it popping, everything. And then later on, whatever, if they're successful, they do their label and do whatever they do and stuff like that. But for you to go in with that mentality off rip, it's like, yeah, it's different.
It's different. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And for me specifically, I gotta give that credit to Izzy. I gotta give some of that credit to Izzy.
Yeah, you always just need that spark to get you. Bro, it's crazy. That's how it was with my brother P2 before he took me serious. I'll never forget. It was like I had already been rapping a little bit with Hooch and all this, fucking doing little songs. Same sort of like you said, like I didn't know what the hell I was doing with him, but
We were doing
I had some ideas. We were doing something he could record. He had a mic set up at his sister's crib and shit. I'm like, fuck it, let's fuck around, and it started to get decent the more you practice, and that's how it was with P2. I'd kind of mention it every once in a while. Everybody'd be like, whatever, and then like one day I really sat down with him and like rapped some shit to him and all that, and he was like, nah, we about to start going to the studio and shit for like you always you need that spark, you know what I'm saying, and you need the person that's gonna show you. Because that's what I was determined to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, so I just kept trying to get better, kept writing, and it really got to the point where he was like, okay, now I'm seeing something. And from there, it was just, you know.
Let me get that later.
Yeah.
I'm slow motion smoking this blunt. I can't get too high on it.
Nah, I feel you.
But yeah, like I said, the spark, man. So I gotta give that. Even my cousin, man, like to see like him so motivated to rap at such a young age, and like, oh, I didn't even like the second or third song we dropped was Jug and Finesse, Stash and Izzy.
I remember that one too. Yes, sir. That was a
That's
banger
joint.
too. Yeah, facts.
Jug and Finesse, get money
Fact.
and flex. That shit was
I remember
fire.
that joint. Yes, sir.
That shit was fire. You know what I mean? And that shit probably has like what 7,000 plays on it. And these are all like, you know what I mean? Like these are probably small numbers to some people or whatever the case may be. But like, dude,
Nah, but when you guys are putting in the hard
I'm from a
work,
small city.
yeah,
We're from a
exact.
small city where a lot of people are just gonna not like you off the rip.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to get any type of response is fire. You know what I'm saying? Because
No, especially
there's still
yeah,
people.
facts.
There's still people out here that been making music for a long time, and I'm not trying to like shit on nobody.
No, of course.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I get surprised because there's people who've been doing this for longer than me, and they're not bad at what they do. You know what I'm saying? But they don't get the response.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I'm saying? Shout out to them though. You know, because definitely don't quit what you're doing. I'm not saying like. I mean, I'm not saying like I'm better than them because nobody's better than anybody. You know what I'm saying? That numbers don't mean nothing at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But realistically, I just be surprised. I just be surprised.
Which is not a bad surprise at all. I feel that. I wanted to switch it up a little bit too because I wanted to talk to you because I know I always come to you and we be like, yo, did you watch this episode of this? Did you watch that? And like, so I know you be into, and I'm a huge like movie fan and series fan and all that. And you definitely be keeping up with me. A lot of the ones I mentioned to you definitely be on. So I was going to ask you, like, has it always been a love for like, I feel like my love for TV and visuals and everything kind of grew as I got older and respected them more. Like before I would just watch them to watch them now. So
Do you know what I come to realize more so lately? Is that we're creators,
right.
so we respect creativity
From any form.
and a lot. You know what I mean? So it could be how you know what I mean. It could be art on the wall, it could be art on the screen, it could be you know what I mean, art on a beat. You know what I'm saying? Like however you describe it, it's something that somebody created and had
Right.
passion for. You know what I'm saying? So like even bad movies, I could sit there and watch a bad movie, right? And I'll just tell you, yeah, it was a bad movie, but like.
You'll see that.
I see certain parts that I'm like, oh, well, I can see why. You know what I mean?
I'm the same way. I always
something out
view
of it.
things differently. Like if there's something I don't like, I try to dissect on what is it that I really didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Even watching the Batman shit, I'm watching Batman. I'm halfway through Batman. I'm like,
Good example. Yeah, because a lot of people are on some like.
People
The
don't like
only thing that I can say is it was a little too long for my liking, bro. Like the whole 3-hour thing is
in my
still
personal
kind of like.
opinion, I hope you've seen it already. In my personal opinion, just less Catwoman scenes and would have been straight.
Right.
Because I feel like some of their dialogue dragged. But
the story, that's what I'm
story's
saying.
fire. Because at the end of the day, when you watch, then because like let me finish. I'll say it real quick. Because at the halfway through the movie, I'm like, this shit sucks. This is and I'm like, this is just because it was just so long and drag.
That's how I was. I was
But
there
then by
like
the
a
end-
little kid.
But then,
Like,
like by the end of the movie, when this nigga, you know what I mean, Riddler and all that shit, like towards the end, I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy. You know what I'm
how
saying?
it unraveled. Yeah.
Yeah, the way it unraveled. Exactly. Perfect way to put it.
Right.
At that point, I was like, this movie's good. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I had to wait and respect the creativity. And I'm like, all right, well, I could. Then when you watch the whole thing, it's like, all right, I see why the movie was so fucking long now, because they really wanted you to grasp everything before everything went down.
No,
like
right,
they didn't want to
right.
leave you with no questions. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, no matter what, when you leave any type of movie, you're gonna have questions. But they wanted to answer most of your questions.
Facts. And that's what I'm saying. So my question to you is, did you always kind of have that for movies and stuff since you watch? Because like I said,
Yeah.
I feel like that part of me, that enlightenment for movies and stuff grew for me at first. I would have been the same dude that, this shit, that, you know what I'm saying?
I've always like, because I've always watched like I would sit there and watch movies with my mom and shit.
I was the same way, yeah. A lot of the things
A lot of movies I watched when I was younger, I watched with my mom. My mom watched all type of shit.
Shout outs to my mom. My mom was the same way. I always say that. Like, with my mom was how I learned, bro. I was in the 90s watching the best shows, bro. Like, I was obviously watching kids shows and shit like that, too. But my mom would put me onto Fresh Prince, bro. We'd watch
See, for me,
Lifetime movies. Like,
it was
just different shit that I seen as a kid. That's what really, I feel like, made me grow to like the cinema. And like you said, see shit differently.
Yeah.
Like,
for me, it was just a lot of movies. So, like, and especially, like, you know what? This is the best. Like, we didn't have cable.
right. Movies was there.
Just gotta fucking watch movies. I watch the same movie 20 times.
And I miss it, bro. I like those blockbuster days and everything like that. Shit was a
Yeah.
vibe. That's why when they dropped that documentary, I was like, damn, the same way they're explaining it is how it was. It was just a vibe. It wasn't about the movie you were getting or what. I mean, obviously it was the movie you were getting. You know
just
what you're,
being in Blockbuster alone was
the energy,
yeah.
we just came to get that new joint
Yeah.
that just.
I know when I was a kid, I was happy. So we're going to Blockbuster. Word.
That shit was like a field trip.
Can I pick a movie?
Facts, yo.
Can I pick the movie?
Nah, facts. It definitely
Blockbuster
was like
lit.
that.
So like I said, we didn't really have cable. So we always had like when I was in Boston and shit. Like, so like even then like Watch like you ever watch Mr. Mom and shit like that, like K9 with Tom Hanks, and like
Nah,
you know what I'm
you
saying.
see,
Like,
you're in the deeper movie ranks than me.
you know what
Nah,
I'm
yeah,
saying,
nah, man.
and then my grandmother. I watched a lot of movies with my grandmother as well when I was a kid. So like Con Air, you know what Con Air is?
Carner, of course.
Yeah, like so Con Air, Mummy, um, fuck they read the Evil Dead, the original Evil Dead.
Right.
That shit used to scare me. For real, like Scream, like all these movies. Like early, I used to watch like Freddy Krueger. You know,
That's one thing I couldn't do the scary movies,
yeah, I watched all.
bro.
So like I
I
literally,
love action. I love the funny shit. I love everything else. I love a good story, but
yeah, hell yeah. And then even shit. When South Park came out, I watched that shit at a young. I remember my mom used to be like, "Oh," she used to be mad tight at my grandmother because my grandmother used to let us watch it.
it is
my
like,
uncle. Yeah,
and at this age, I'm guessing like a lot of the jokes we understand in the South Park nowadays is not the same thing you
South
were
Park
understanding at those
South Park
times.
came out in what 1998. I'm 4 years old. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
like you don't know what you're soaking in from this at that age,
saying?
bro.
Hell yeah. And then shit. Like even like music, I would say I picked up from like just being like, cause like the Me P cover. I'm a baby in a diaper with a microphone in my hand.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I noticed that. That's one thing I never had, man. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's like church videos of me singing in church and everything like that. But I noticed that you do have the like the OG clips of really like the first
Oh, I have
freestyles
bro,
and
I
the
have,
first like that's dope to have, bro.
yeah,
No
I have a bunch of that shit. So and then like to have even that picture alone, like that's my grandmother had the fucking I that's my grandmother. She had two big ass speakers, and she would connect the mics to it, and no music playing. She would just let me and my uncle go off. Like, here,
that's crazy.
take the mics. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we rapping or singing or joking, whatever, just fucking around on the mic the whole
So
time.
it kind of got you comfortable without you even really knowing
I didn't,
with the mic
you know,
and shit.
and I'm putting that together now. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that like
It's crazy how that all comes full circle and
yeah,
works.
yeah. So
right?
like I can say that now. Probably like my grandmother, like just small shit like that. Like watching movies with my grandmother. Then I watched movies with my mom. Then my cousins was rappers, and you know just like music and creativity and movies and TV and even books because at a young age I had to read a lot of books. My pops was like very read a book.
That's one thing I'm not even gonna lie to you. Reading for me was like
I don't like reading now.
I always liked
I wish I
writing
could.
and everything like that for some reason, but the reading aspect
I
of it,
honestly
like,
wish that I can get into reading. It's just tougher for me. Like I try to do the audio shit too. So like
I mean, I feel like that's the times we're in now. It's the podcast era, the visual era,
even
the
the
everything
audio
is
shit is
yeah,
tough for me because like I be in the car and I listen to like 20 minutes of the audiobook. I'm like, man, I'm trying to listen to some Dirk.
yeah,
Like, fuck am I listening to?
yeah.
Like,
That be like that,
you know
bro.
what I mean? But I don't know. I get frustrated quick. So reading back then was easier for me, but now it's tougher.
No, I feel you.
I'm not really a reader now.
So like, what's your favorite show right now? Like, what is the go to like the one that you feeling right now?
I just finished Top Boy.
Bro, I have not.
I just finished Top
And
Boy.
they just did another season that came out, right?
Yeah, it just came out like last week. I just finished that shit.
I know.
was
I've
on
been
it.
seeing a lot of people talk about it. A lot of people posted everything.
I was on
I
it.
haven't.
Yeah, man's needs his peas, isn't it?
I gotta get on that. I gotta start that. I've been
that
needing
shit is
something else to
hard,
watch
I'm telling
too.
you, man, that shit is gangster. That shit is tough. I would definitely recommend.
I'll tell you what I'm waiting on. Honestly, I just seen. I think the other day on Netflix that the second part of Ozark is finally coming. Like
It's
the April
at
something.
the end of April. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait, bro. That's my
Yeah.
shit right there. Shout out to them. That shit is ill, bro. No cap.
Yeah, no. Ozark's crazy. I watch all that shit. Let's see. I just finished Last Kingdom. That's my shit. That's on Netflix too. It's like some Viking shit.
Bro, you stay. We had this conversation. I can't do the Viking shit,
like I
bro.
said,
That's why, I know it's not a popular opinion, but I definitely haven't done what is it? I haven't done
Oh, Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones.
My
it's
man
not
is
really
steady
Viking.
trying to convince me to
Yo,
get into Game of Thrones. He
is
will not.
fire. I'm telling you, I've been trying to.
That's
tell
gonna
you
be
for
at
a
the next
while,
smoke
bro.
session. He says, "Nano, you have to let me sit with you
Yes,
and walk
watch
you
the
through
first-
this."
The first two episodes. The first two episodes.
Let me walk you through this, bro.
Yeah.
Let me open your mind and enlighten
I
you, and I'm
promise
gonna
you.
let you. Yeah, it literally promises me that I will be a Game of Thrones fan by the end of it.
This is what I promise anybody. Like if you watch like all my peoples, if you watch the first, if you really have a hard time watching it, because most people do.
Right.
I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, just the medieval things for me.
Even I had a hard time watching in the beginning, but if you get through the first two episodes with me and then finish the first season on your own, I guarantee you'll be hooked.
Right.
All right, like I'm not even. I guarantee you, and I've told this to everybody who still like you refuse to watch. I got mad people like that. I converted my girl.
First 2 episodes, first season, it's over. I'm there. I'm watching the rest.
Come on, my brother.
We're gonna have to set that up, and I will definitely be giving you guys the update on if
Yeah,
I'm a Game of Thrones
do it.
fan or not, because I just don't see it happening. I'm not a medieval dude,
I'm
bro.
telling you, nah, it's not even about medieval. You appreciate creativity, and when you watch the shit,
The cinematic
the effect that it leaves.
it looks very that I'm not arguing. It looks very well directed.
It's greatly. I think it's the most expensive TV show ever.
That's wild. I believe it. It got fucking dragons and all this bullshit flying around
It's just
everywhere. Like,
I'm trying to tell you.
I gotta get in on that.
All right.
Nah, yeah. And before I let you go, I definitely want to discuss. So we got the 01420 project out right now.
Yes, sir.
Collab project with
JC
the God, my man's.
Yes, sir.
And that also debuted at 24 on the iTunes chart and everything like that. And that's what you're
And
promoting right now. So
and that's
how does that feel?
That's after a hiatus. That's like after taking some time off music. That's after. I mean, I dropped a music video, but that song wasn't even out on like Apple Music or nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like I don't even count that shit. But it worked, to keep my name floating around.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And we did Preach last year. Preach was big.
Big.
Preach is fucking so different for me.
Dope time. I'm glad I got to be a part of that.
Yeah,
that whole process and everything.
Man. I don't even think the visual would have looked like if we didn't have you. You know what I'm saying?
I love that, bro. Like I said, I love to
Teamwork
see
makes the
dudes
dream work,
working
man.
and putting. Yeah, no facts, bro.
So, man, even Preach, Preach was like such a fucking step away from what I do. The autotune was just so different for me. So I'm in there and they're coaching me through this shit because I don't even know what I'm doing, bro. and ESAP's telling me like, bro, do it like this. I'm like, oh. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna try like that. And then boom, that's like the same exact voice that's on there. I was like, I grew up in it, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, that should sound pretty cool.
Right.
And then the engineer looked at me, he was like, yeah, that's it. Because he knows I don't do that shit too much. And he knows I be having a hard time every time I've tried it before, but like I don't really favor it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, that shit actually sounds pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like I never thought I could sound like that. So he's like, all right, we're gonna keep it. Spit. And this is and mind you, I'm not writing none of this down. Like I didn't write none of that. I just punched on all that shit.
Did you guys all that song came together? Everybody just vibing out.
Yeah, and the problem is most people will sit there and like they sit there and say they freestyle songs. Like, dude, you're punching in. That's not freestyling.
Right.
That's not freestyling.
Exactly.
It's called punching in.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? But so I was just punching in every line. You know what I'm saying? I did the first line. I was like, all right, boom. Took 2 seconds. I was like, all right, go. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? And boom. And I was like, all right, go. Like literally just. And it was a great vibe because like I'm standing there in the first bar, the first line. I'm literally playing. They're just playing beats. They're going through the beats. That beat comes on. And the first thing I said, I grew up feeding for these streets. I had to detox.
Now this session, this is all everybody that's on the song is at this session.
And everybody, the Hove just came home the day before, so I'm like, yo, we gotta get in the studio, right? So I booked the studio.
So you just caught that energy.
Yeah. It's all love. It's all great energy. So I'm like, yo, Hove just came home. All right, we gotta get to the studio. The original plan was for me and Hove, right? And
they lit out there, huh?
Yeah, it's lit. Yeah. The original plan was for me. It was just put me and Hove on the track.
Right.
And I told him, I was like, damn, we gotta do something, man, because he really wasn't like in that mindset. I'm like, yo, we gotta do something. You just came home. We gotta take all that energy that you've been like holding in, all the shit you want to get.
And I'm sure he was right. He's an artist too. And I'm sure he was writing everything. So
so he's like, all right, fuck it, let's go. So these, niggas being there, how people are, man. These niggas late. These niggas are late.
Never fails.
So
studio sessions, at least, man, in my experience, studio sessions never start on time.
And it never go as planned.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
But beautiful things come out of them. Isn't it crazy? Out of the chaos, out of everything, if you really focus and do what you gotta do.
I get there first. Me and my brother. That's me and my brother Mendez. We get there first.
Right.
We're sitting there waiting for everybody. So I put the beat page on. We're going through the beats. ESAP pulls up. ESAP gets there. He's like, yo. I'm like, what you think about this beat? And I play it. And that's actually just like the second time I played it, second or third time. And then that's when I finally said the line. I was like, I grew up feeling for the streets. I had detox. And ESAP right there, he's like, yo, you gotta do that shit. So like I said, I went in there. He's walking me through that line. I got the first like 2 lines down. Then Stash and Hove walk in. And me and like when Eastside heard me do the first line, he's like, I gotta get on this. I gotta get on this. So I'm like, fuck.
Niggas didn't even ask you.
I'm like, I loved it though, cause I'm like, fuck, you ain't here yet. Let's just do it. Me and you don't got nothing yet, so let's just do it. We get on. We don't. I said we haven't put nothing out yet, so let's just do it, cause I knew the song was gonna come out.
Right.
So I get on there, I do my part, and in the middle of my part, Eastside's like thinking about what he's gonna say, and Hov is dash walking. So Hov's first reaction was like, "Yo, that's you." I'm like, "Yeah."
They not using the auto-tune. Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "That shit sound fire." So he's like, "Who's next?" I'm like, "Well, Eastside." He's like, "Well," Eastside's like, "Well, I got a few lines. I can't. I you know what I mean? I don't got nothing for like the whole thing yet." So I'm like, "Fuck it, just lay down what you got." And the way that the beat, it just happened. So I did like fucking couple
organically.
lines. Yeah, I did a couple lines. He did a couple lines, and then I say like the beginning of the first verse. Like I have like the first like 3 or 4 lines, and then Hov comes in. You know what I'm saying? Like it just worked out so perfect.
Those are amazing
and
sessions.
then the hook comes. The hook is me and Eastside. So then the hook comes back in. Then Stash goes, and Eastside has a verse. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Some real Wu-Tang shit y'all really had going on there.
It was the way that it worked out. It worked out so perfect, and the song did so well.
That's fire. I have a story like that too. That's how I don't know if you remember that's how the One Train joint where we did that remix. Fucking me, Bert,
that shit is hard.
Hooch, Pete. That was the same thing. We had like a freaking like 12-hour session that day, bro. We was just there writing, vibing to the beat, everything. And yeah, that's one of my favorite joints that I've done with like a group of people and stuff like that. I definitely fuck with that.
I don't really work. Not that I don't really work well in the consortium. The energy has got to be right. Like
it has to be.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. When you have that many people, all that like it's not all the time that shit's just gonna click like that. So it's cool when it does, man. Like, that shit does not happen every time just because you have a bunch of rappers in a studio like that together.
Even like when I used to go to the studio with you, like back in the day, like not too long ago, but like when I used to go to the studio with you, and I used to just sit there and just try to take in everything, like. Right. Cause I was just trying to learn as much as possible. Like even back then, like
cause watching us work. Oh my god,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I love my brother P to death, man. That nigga
plotting, bro. I'm like, yo, all right. So when I get home, I gotta do like I'm watching your brother, how he is with you. You know what I'm saying? So at that time,
like I said, in the chaos of it all, you gotta be able to fuck. Cause that's what I call it. It was always with us. Like there was always fights. We would disagree on shit. But we always found a way to make it work and then when we would be listening to the joint when it was done, we'd be like, yo, like it's crazy to see how the art comes together.
You're never gonna fully agree.
Right.
2 different minds.
But it definitely could work though. That's what I'm saying. We would find a way to feed off each other. The vibe would still be there. And
me and Izzy disagreed all the time.
Those are the things people don't see, the behind the scenes of like everybody.
All the time we disagreed, bro, on what songs were on the tapes, what song, like, not to go, I mean, but like,
which I think is necessary. Like that's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with,
and it was healthy because like, I believe this song is the song, and I believe he believes that song.
And when y'all finally agree on something, it's like everybody's confident in what we about to do with this right now. You know what I'm saying? Because like, those conversations definitely need to be had.
Because even like one of my favorite songs by Izzy is "Coolin'." You know what I'm saying? And "Coolin" was some shit where I had the studio set up in the crib, and I was out, and I didn't even know. Just one day I come back to the house and fucking Stash and Izzy at the house, and they're fucking in the studio, and they're working on something in the house. I'm like, what are you guys doing? And Stash's like, yo, Izzy just laid down no fire shit. I'm like, for real? I was like, let me hear it. So we go and we do it. He plays the song. I'm like, damn, this shit's pretty fire. I like this. You know,
right.
It's Izzy's style. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know when you know somebody it fits somebody. Like, yo, this is dope. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, for real? You think so? Because he didn't even think. I'm like, yeah, bro. You go, what? I was like, bro, we got to shoot a video and put this shit out. He's like, you think so? I'm like, hell yeah, we got to shoot a video and put this shit out. So literally, I want to say like 2 days after that, we went to the studio. The next week after that, we shot the video. 3 weeks after that, the video was out.
Just like that.
Yeah, and sometimes it just happens like that. Those are my favorite. Like, you know, those type of stories are the best stories because, like,
no, it's a fact.
And Coolin', like I said, Coolin's one of my favorite songs by Izzy. So that shit worked out in our favor.
No, that's fire. That's fire. Nah, so yeah, man, definitely. 01420 out right now. What else we got coming up next? Like, what's the plan? I know we got a video in the works too. That shit's about to be a movie and shit like that. So definitely look out for that when that comes out. And
that's gonna.
We're gonna drop a couple more videos off the tape and everything, or
Yeah,
what should we expect?
I think the next video is probably gonna be the last video off the tape.
Okay.
Next video I'll drop, and onto some new shit. You know, can't stay in one spot. You know what I mean?
Nah.
You know how to. You know what I mean? And especially like being such a like a newer or whatever you say, like a upper coming artist, you got to stay a little bit more consistent.
Yeah, consistency is key, definitely,
So
bro.
it doesn't really matter what you dropped last month.
Facts.
They want to see what you dropped.
Especially nowadays, everybody just that's how everybody takes everything in. It's
I'm gonna
like
tell you something. Like
instant.
I would imagine, right? You know, I'm a little bit older, but I'm not too old. You know what I'm saying? So I would imagine like in the '90s when they were buying albums and shit, and they were like, "Yo, when did that album come out?" And I'm like, "Yo, it came out this year. It came out in January. It's like fucking September or some shit."
Right.
Yeah, I gotta go buy that shit. They would still go do. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Now I tell somebody like, "Yo, when did that album come out?" Oh, it came out 2 months ago. I'm already late. I'm not gonna listen to it.
Right. Everybody's on the new.
You know what I'm saying?
And like I said, everybody just takes everything in that way. Like the attention span is just like, so it's like, nah, I feel that.
It'd be like that, man.
Nah, but definitely, bro, keep it going. I'm gonna definitely be looking out for that. I definitely enjoy being part of the journey sometimes and seeing you grow.
All the time, bro.
Nah, facts.
All the time, man. And I bet, you know what I mean? I've been a part of your journey. You've been a part of mine. So, like, you know what I mean? It's different.
It's cool to see you continue growing, bro. And like I said, good things are to come. Like I said, just because of the vibe, the energy you put out, I know it's going to definitely keep moving forward. And I definitely appreciate you stopping by and doing this episode, you heard?
You know what I mean? Then might have to make me like I have to come on once a season or something.
Yeah, that's, nigga, you know that's not even a question.
Or, you know what I mean? I'm going to have to come
we could definitely do
a
that.
co-host one day.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. It's a vibe.
I definitely appreciate you having me, especially on one of your first episodes, man. That shit means a lot.
No, of course I had to, but like I said, everything's moving for you. You popping right now. I was like, yeah, definitely, you know, had to bring my mans on.
Nah,
yes, sir.
We're going to get this shit popping, man. You know what I mean? You already know 01420 streaming everywhere. Me978 on our platforms. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Go get that. And Socially Distanced Podcast. You already know. We lit. Appreciate y'all for listening to this episode. And yeah, we definitely going to keep it moving, bro. We out here.